Hi guys, so I'm coming at you with this soft smoky khaki eyeshadow tutorial using the Tom Ford eyeshadow palette in Last Dance. So I'm just going to get my hair out of the way, and then my skin is already moisturized, but I'm going to spritz my skin with a little bit of this MAC Fix Plus, which works before and after makeup. It just kind of puts a little hydration back into your skin and just makes everything ready for makeup. Your skin takes the makeup a little better. MAC Studio Sculpt and this Bdellium Tools Precision Kabuki. It's really my favorite pair right now, especially in the winter. Probably going to use this foundation pretty much the entire winter, so most of my tutorials will probably have this one because it's a great winter foundation for me. NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this color is Creme Brulee, and the way I'm using this today is for my eyeshadow primer because really, in the 80s, 90s, and before, they didn't necessarily have eyeshadow primers per se, but you could use concealer and you can use it on your eyelid and it works just great as a primer. So I'm smoothing anything else with my fingers, anywhere around my nose that I might need more color. This is the Tom Ford Last Dance palette, and I'm not using those exciting colors necessarily, but I'm starting with that shimmery kind of bone color on the top left, and a fluffy brush, just putting it all over the lid, like from lash line to literally my eyebrow, like up into the brow. And then I'm taking that khaki sort of brownish green color, and with a fluffy brush, which is kind of unusual for a darker color, I am buffing that above the crease. So I want it to be really blown out, and I'm gonna bring my color really high today. I was watching some documentary on Sid and Nancy last night, and I noticed how high they bring the makeup in the 70s and the 80s, like late 70s. So we're going kind of like Studio 54 here a little bit in the placement anyway. And then I'm taking that same khaki color and I'm just using a smaller brush because I want to deposit a little more color. And I'm really just building it. I'm just adding, I'm buffing, I'm building. And I'm bringing it a little bit into the inner corner, kind of like where you would contour at the top of the nose, because I want it kind of big and blown out, and it's just kind of the mood I was in today. I'm the kind of person, I'm not really shy with makeup. I'll wear kind of crazy makeup to the grocery store. But if that's not you, then you'll just keep your placement maybe from the outer edge to the center of your lid rather than bringing it so far in. So now to really see where we're gonna go, we gotta get some brows on. So I'm going in with my brow pencil and I'm just kind of drawing the brows so that I have a little bit of a border. So I know where to go, I know where to stop. And I start with this pencil, which is a little bit light for me, but that's probably not a bad thing because then you can't mess it up so much. But I am gonna go in with this Fashion Fix eyeshadow. It's just an eyeshadow, which I think works perfectly as a brow powder. It's really the same thing. And I'm just kind of going over it to add a little color and set that pencil in place. So I want to give that brow a little lift, so I'm just going in with a fair color, anything lighter than your skin tone. A little shimmer is fine, and I'm just going under the brow and kind of just floating it out. And as you can see now, I'm going back in with that color that was left on the brush, and I'm just kind of smoothing it out. So it's like a lot of back and forth. So now I've done the other eye, as you can see. It totally looks crazy. I realize that, but it won't forever. So I'm going to just clean up around the perimeter of the eye, like where I want the eyeshadow to be with my foundation brush. And then I'm going again in with my concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but it's a lighter color in the color Vanilla. And I use this as my highlight. So I put it under the eyes, top of the cheekbones, between the brows, and I like a ring finger for that because I feel like it's not going to swipe away the foundation and the concealer that's underneath. It kind of helps me layer, and then the heat of your finger helps the layers of the product sort of meld together, so it's kind of a win-win. Then the Patrick Starr Set Powder by MAC. You guys, I absolutely love this. It is so good, it is so fine, and it works perfectly even under my eyes that are I'm not 20. It does not crease and crepe. So I'm going to keep that under my eyes while I finish the rest of the eyes, and that way if anything drips down, falls down powder-wise, we'll clean it up. That's an old trick. And I'm using that khaki color for my eyeliner because I want the liner on the bottom to be really soft, really easy on the eyes, really blown out. So sometimes shadow with a skinny brush like this one is really the best way to achieve that. So while my powder is still kind of baking, I am going to add a little bit of this. This is really just a powder foundation by IT Cosmetics, but it's a little dark for me, so I use it as a bronzer. And then I'm just buffing it away. So now the powder is off, and it's sort of like the loose powder and the bronzer powder kind of mixed together, and now my skin, my face, and my foundation is all set. So I don't want like a thick line or a dark line up top, so I'm just taking this dark brown eyeliner and I'm putting it right in the roots of the lashes and up into the upper waterline, just so the lash line is nice and dark. And I'm gonna sort of wing it out, as you can see, but it's not gonna be like a cat wing, like precise. It's just gonna be winged out, and then I'm gonna kind of like fluff it together. So again, with that khaki color and the same skinny eyeliner brush that I've used for the bottom lash liner or lash line, I'm just gonna kind of feather it over the brown eyeliner before it sets. And as you can see, it really softens it and it just makes it a little smoky, but it adds a little bit of the depth that I want in the outer V and at the top of the lash line. And then finally, just going in with a clean brush, I'm just kind of like buffing away if there's like a lot of product, just like smoothing everything out and just really softening it up. And that's kind of where we're at right now. No product on the brush. All right, so I'm pretty much where I want it. And then it never hurts to go back in with that first lid color and just kind of put it on the center of the lid, maybe a little in the inner corner, and just kind of clean it up. So now we're ready for some blush. I'm using a little bit of MAC Gingerly. It's just like a nice, warm, kind of peachy, orangey blush that I thought looked really nice at this time of year. And then a nude lip. I want to go in with a liner just to give my lips a little edge. In the meantime, I've also curled my lashes and done mascara, but I didn't put that on camera because most people know how to do that just fine, but in some of my other videos it's there. So anyway, that's the finished look. I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.